Yo, it is today. Well, not today. Yesterday, because I'm recording this on the February 25th. So yesterday for the United States would be the fourth anniversary of the Ukrainian invasion starting, as I like to call it, Ukrainian invasion or just Ukraine war, whatever. Hey, I'm gonna sit down right here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just doing this in the snow. I'm not really setting it up. There's not the sound here. Okay. Let me scooch up actually. So, for the United States and like the North America, really, the Americas, it would be the fourth anniversary today of the war in Ukraine. By the way, I'm gonna try to make this video short, but it seems like whenever I do these kind of videos, like talking to the camera, anniversaries, nowadays it seems like, it's over 6 minutes. Even though if I try to make it only a few minutes, it's always over 6 minutes. Like the last one was 8 or whatever. The last Ukraine invasion, Ukraine war anniversary video of mine was like somewhere over like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like over 15, something like that. 12 minutes maybe. That's not important. Anyways, so for Ukraine and like Europe and everybody in that sort of area, it would be February 23rd would really be the the fourth anniversary, and I'm doing this late too, so it wouldn't be any anniversary, but I'm doing it now. So just to update you and what happens in Ukraine right now, since the last checked on you. It's been going on for a while, but I think it needs to be said that, never mind. Trench warfare is like sort of like the main thing that happens like along most of the front line, along with battery positions like artillery and like howitzers and things like. I'm seeing things. I thought I saw the moon moving. And like artillery and howitzers and things like that. There's less urban warfare than there was in the beginning. They're more so switched over to trench warfare. So, it's all right. So, and that's kind of like the thing that they do nowadays. And the Ukrainians have had this policy for a while now, but I think it needs to be said. That's what I wanted to say. That they've adopted this policy since they're kind of ammunition's like kind of low right now, and for like the past like year or so, 2 years, 2 years, 7 seems about right. They've adopted the policy. They told their soldiers, don't shoot unless you see the enemy, which is kind of bad, because if you know anything about conflict, sometimes you just can't see the enemy and you just shoot to shoot, make sure they're there, weaken their defenses, but you can't really see the enemy, especially when you're like barraging them with like artillery fire, unless you're like a short distance away from them. Then I don't know what the point that is. But yeah, it's kind of like the thing. And for who's exactly, in a sense, winning, because while conflict's going on, it's not really winning. Nobody's really winning. But if you're talking about land-wise, it would be Russia. Sadly, Russia. Russia, they're making gains, like slowly, like bits of land, like every day. It seems. Actually, it is every day. They always gain land every single day, like bits of land, and slowly making their way, making that the front line or like their occupied zone thicker and thicker. So that's pretty bad. But like tactically, it would sort of be Ukraine with their drone strikes and Russian troops casualties of Russia, being higher than Ukraine. But really, if this were to continue like this, if the war were to continue like this in its present state, Russia would totally win, sadly. Unless you like Russia and you want Russia to win this conflict, you're on Russia's side. And if so, stop being you. Stop. Stop being you. Don't be you. Just stop it. Ugh. And so, that's basically the rundown of like who's exactly winning in like certain categories there, I mean, Ukraine has drones, so that's a plus, but they're also low on munitions for all sorts of things and supplies for like food, water, gear for like winter weather and things like that, equipment, just like, just vehicles, transport vehicles. And so really Russia would win in the end if this thing were going. But there are peace talks, floating around, not like definitive ones, but there are talks of peace talks in the works. It's like kind of very not actually though, but like we're trying to get there. We're a little closer, I guess, but there's not really anything. The war is just still gonna go on. So people try, and Ukraine and Russia don't want to make a deal. So yeah, no one wants to make a deal, really. So it's basically Russia's strategy just to throw people at it, just keep throwing bodies at the conflict, and eventually you'll get there. Just like World War II with the Soviet Union. Just keep throwing bodies, and eventually we'll get to Berlin. So, next one I want to talk about is in the past year since I last checked in since like the 3rd anniversary of the Ukraine war. Since then, Russia has definitely gained a lot more land, and other things have happened. But most notably, they're in the front line, especially in like the central front line, like the central part of the front line. It's like in the east Ukraine right now. So between April of last year, 2025, and now, the front line has seen quite a bit of activity and is like moving every single day. Like there's a lot of activity. And by activity, I mean like a lot of quick advancements, little but quick advancements by Russia. It started to like gain a little bit of traction in April, but then it definitely like rocketed May through like August. It kind of died down a little bit in September 2025, and then it picked up traction back up in October and November and December, and then it died a little bit, just a little bit, in January until now. But yeah, there was activity in those months, so it started to pick up, specifically like in the central front line in East Ukraine. There also have been some like advancements in the per se north part, the northeast. In the east part of the north part of Ukraine. So not northeast, not really northeast, but like the east part of the north part. So like right here, it's the circle. There have been Russian advancements into Ukraine, like little pockets, but they have been in stalemates for quite a long time right now. Basically everything in that north part, like in that part that I just showed you, and in the south part, is just a stalemate at this point. The actual northeast part and the central part are still on the move with Russian gains every single day. So, but there have been Ukrainian gains, just not very much, but like there have been Ukrainian gains to at least halt or slow down the Russian advancement, which has worked, and they're still holding out. It's just they're slowly being taken back by Russia. So Ukrainian gains have been like empty. It was like almost no Ukrainian gains whatsoever between like mid-November and mid-February, besides like 3. But then Ukrainian advancements have finally picked up in mid-February until now, which is like late February. So basically, that's all I want to say for the 4th anniversary of the Ukrainian invasion. Really. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. Bye.